The Frog and the Mouse. Once upon a time, in a tranquil meadow bordered by a shimmering pond, there lived a young and curious mouse. This mouse, with his bright eyes and twitching nose, was filled with a thirst for adventure. He had grown tired of the familiar nooks and crannies of his home and yearned to explore the wider world. One sunny morning, as he scurried along the edge of the pond, he marveled at the glistening water and the gentle ripples that played upon its surface. In this very pond lived a frog, known for his cunning ways. He often watched the creatures of the meadow from his watery domain, contemplating how he might entertain himself at their expense. When the frog saw the mouse near the bank, an idea formed in his sly mind. "Ah, a little mouse," croaked the frog, hopping onto a rock close to the shore. "What brings you to my humble pond? Are you here to admire its beauty, or perhaps to seek new adventures?" The mouse stopped and looked at the frog. "Indeed, I am seeking adventure," he replied. "I've explored much of the meadow, but I have never ventured into the waters. Tell me, what is it like?" The frog's eyes gleamed with mischief. "Oh, the pond is a wondrous place," he said. "There are sights and wonders you cannot even imagine. Glimmering stones at the bottom, tiny fish darting like silver arrows, and plants that dance gracefully with the current. You must come and see it for yourself." The mouse hesitated. "It sounds delightful," he said, "but I'm not much of a swimmer. The water frightens me." "Nonsense," said the frog, his voice smooth and reassuring. "I'll help you. Let us tie our legs together with a reed, so that I can guide you safely through the water. You will have nothing to fear." The mouse, eager and naive, agreed to the plan. The frog found a sturdy reed and tied one end around his own leg and the other around the mouse's tiny limb. With the knot secured, the frog leapt into the pond, dragging the mouse along with him. At first, the mouse marveled at the sensation of gliding through the water. The frog moved gracefully, and the mouse enjoyed the coolness of the pond. But as they ventured deeper, the water grew colder and darker, and the mouse began to feel uneasy. "Perhaps we should return to the shore now," said the mouse, his voice trembling. "I've seen enough for one day." The frog, however, had other plans. Beneath his calm exterior lay treachery. "Oh, but we've only just begun," he croaked. "There is so much more to see." Ignoring the mouse's protests, the frog dove deeper, pulling his helpless companion under the water. The mouse struggled, kicking his tiny legs and gasping for air, but the frog's grip was firm, and the reed held tight. It was not long before the poor mouse's struggles ceased. He had drowned, his lifeless body floating limply behind the frog. Satisfied with his cruel game, the frog began to swim back toward the shore, intending to untie the reed and rid himself of the mouse's body. But as he neared the surface, a shadow passed over the pond. A hawk, with sharp eyes and even sharper talons, had been circling overhead. The gleam of the mouse's body caught the hawk's attention, and in a swift dive, it seized the mouse in its claws. To the frog's horror, the reed that bound him to the mouse now bound him to the hawk's prize. With a mighty flap of its wings, the hawk rose into the air, carrying both the mouse and the frog high above the pond. The frog squirmed and croaked in terror, but there was no escape. The hawk's grip was firm, and the frog's deceit had sealed his fate. Far above the meadow, the hawk soared with its prey. It landed on a rocky perch and began to feast. The mouse and the frog, one a victim of naivety and the other of his own treachery, both met their end that day. This tale reminds us that those who plot harm for others often find themselves ensnared by their own schemes. Deceit and treachery may bring temporary satisfaction, but they carry the seeds of their own destruction. Furthermore, the story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of trusting too easily and the importance of choosing companions wisely.